Happiness is a scam, and you've been buying it your whole life. Peace is what's left when you finally stop shopping. Happiness is a scam, and you've been buying it your whole life. Peace is what's left when you finally stop shopping. We've been sold a lie that happiness is the goal, that if you're not happy, something's wrong with you, that the point of existence is to feel good as often as possible, that life is supposed to be joyful and light and full of moments worth posting on Instagram. Absolute bollocks. Happiness isn't the goal. It never was. It's a product. And you're the market. An entire industry exists to convince you that you're one purchase away from finally feeling complete. One holiday, one relationship, one promotion, one self-help book, one wellness retreat, one more thing, and then you'll be happy. Except you won't, because happiness isn't designed to last. It's designed to leave, so you'll keep buying. That's the scam. Not that happiness doesn't exist, but that you've been taught to chase it like it's sustainable, like it's something you can achieve and maintain, like it's a destination you arrive at and then stay forever. It's not. Happiness is a moment, a fleeting chemical reaction in your brain that fades whether you want it to or not. And the moment it fades, you panic. You think something's wrong. You think you've lost it. So, you chase it again. And that chase, that's what's destroying you, because you can't rest in the valleys if you think you're supposed to live on the peaks. You can't accept a Tuesday afternoon if you think every day should feel like Saturday morning. You can't be present in ordinary life if you think ordinary isn't enough. So you keep chasing, keep buying, keep consuming, keep scrolling, keep searching, keep believing that happiness is just around the corner if you could just fix this one thing. Lose the weight, find the partner, get the job, move to the city, leave the city, start the business, quit the business. And you wonder why you're exhausted. It's not life that's exhausting, it's the pursuit of something that was never meant to be pursued. One wise bloke wrote that the happy man is content with his present lot, no matter what it is. Not because his lot is perfect, but because he stopped demanding it be different. He stopped comparing it to some imagined version where everything is better. That's peace, and it's the opposite of what you've been taught. Because peace isn't exciting. Peace doesn't photograph well. Peace can't be packaged and sold back to you. Peace is just being okay with what is, and that doesn't make anyone any money, so no one's selling it. They're selling happiness instead, and you're buying, over and over, because each time it fades, they convince you it's because you bought the wrong version. Wrong diet, wrong relationship, wrong city, wrong job, wrong life. Try again, buy again, chase again. The problem isn't the pursuit. The problem is you haven't found the right thing to pursue yet. Except the problem is the pursuit. The problem is thinking happiness is something you find outside yourself. The problem is believing you're broken if you're not happy. The problem is equating a good life with a happy life. And that equation is ruining you. Because here's what no one tells you. A good life is often not a happy life. A good life is full of difficulty and challenge and loss and grief and boredom and frustration and all the things we've been taught to avoid. A good life isn't pleasant. It's meaningful. And meaning doesn't always feel good. Raising children isn't happy. It's exhausting and stressful and terrifying. But it's meaningful. Building something from nothing isn't happy. It's full of failure and doubt and setbacks, but it's meaningful. Staying with someone through illness isn't happy. It's heartbreaking and hard, but it's meaningful. Happiness is easy to feel when life is easy. Peace is what you have when life is hard and you're okay anyway. That's the difference. Happiness depends on circumstances. Peace doesn't. Happiness comes and goes based on what's happening to you. Peace is what remains when you stop needing things to be different than they are. And you can't buy that. You can't consume it. You can't achieve it by doing more, or being more, or having more. Peace comes from subtraction, not addition. It comes from wanting less, not getting more. But wanting less doesn't sell products. So you'll never see an advert that says, stop wanting things and you'll be fine. You'll see adverts that say, buy this thing and you'll finally be happy. Because that's the game. keep you wanting, keep you believing happiness is just one more purchase away. And it works, because you keep playing. Another philosopher said, we're disturbed not by things, but by the views we take of them. You're not unhappy because your life is wrong. You're unhappy because you think your life is supposed to be different. You're not suffering because you lack something. You're suffering because you've been convinced that lacking something is a problem. But what if it isn't? What if wanting things you don't have is optional? What if you could just stop? Not stop having goals, not stop growing or improving or working toward things, but stop thinking that happiness is the reward for achieving them. Stop thinking that peace comes after you've fixed everything. Stop believing you're allowed to be content only when life is perfect. Because life will never be perfect. There will always be something wrong, something missing, something that could be better. If you're waiting for everything to be sorted before you let yourself be at peace, you'll wait forever. Because life will never be perfect. There will always be something wrong, something missing, something that could be better. If you're waiting for everything to be sorted before you let yourself be at peace, you'll wait forever. And that's the trap. You think peace is the finish line, something you earn after you've done enough, been enough, achieved enough. But peace isn't at the end. Peace is available right now, in the mess, in the imperfection, in the ordinary, unremarkable middle of a life that's neither terrible nor spectacular. But you won't take it, because peace feels like giving up, like settling, like admitting defeat. We've been taught that contentment is lazy, that accepting what is means you've stopped trying, that peace is what mediocre people have when they can't achieve happiness. More bollocks. Peace isn't resignation. It's clarity. It's understanding what matters and what doesn't. It's knowing the difference between problems you can solve and problems you have to accept. It's choosing your battles instead of fighting everything because you think that's what ambition looks like. Happiness makes you a consumer, peace makes you immune to consumption, and that's why one is sold to you constantly and the other is barely mentioned. Because a peaceful person doesn't need much, doesn't buy much, doesn't chase much, doesn't scroll endlessly looking for the next thing that might finally make them feel okay. A peaceful person already feels okay, and that's terrible for business. So they sell you happiness instead. Wrap it up in a bow and convince you it's within reach if you just try harder, work harder, earn more, look better, do better, be better, and maybe then you'll finally be happy. Except you won't, because the goalpost moves. Every time you reach it, they move it. New house, new problems, new job, new stress, new relationship, new insecurities. The happiness you thought you'd feel when you achieved the thing fades within weeks and you're back to chasing again. That's not failure, that's design. Happiness is supposed to fade. If it didn't, you'd stop chasing. And if you stop chasing, the whole system collapses. So they keep you chasing, keep you believing, keep you buying, keep you convinced that you're just one breakthrough away from finally feeling how you're supposed to feel. But what if how you're supposed to feel is just fine? What if the goal isn't to feel amazing, but to feel steady? What if peace, boring, unremarkable peace, is actually the thing worth pursuing? Because peace doesn't fade. Peace doesn't depend on getting the thing. Peace doesn't require circumstances to align. Peace is the quiet acceptance that life is what it is, and you're going to be okay regardless. Not happy, not ecstatic, not thrilled, just okay. And okay is underrated. You've been taught that okay isn't enough, that if you're just okay, you're failing, that you should be striving for more, feeling more, experiencing more, that life should be extraordinary, and if it's just ordinary, then you're doing it wrong. But most of life is ordinary. Most days are unremarkable. Most moments aren't worth photographing or posting or remembering. And if you can't be at peace with ordinary, you'll spend your entire life feeling like you're falling short. Because extraordinary is rare, happiness is fleeting. Peak experiences are called peak experiences because they're the exception, not the norm. And if you're measuring your life by the peaks, the valleys will feel like failure. But the valleys aren't failure. The valleys are life. The mundane middle is life. The boring Tuesday afternoon is life, and peace is being okay with that, not wishing it were different, not waiting for it to get better, just being here in this unremarkable moment and not needing it to be more. That's freedom, and it costs nothing, requires nothing, demands nothing. It's already here. You just have to stop demanding it be something else. But you won't. Not yet. Because you've been too well trained. You've spent too many years believing the lie. You've invested too much in the pursuit of happiness to just stop and admit it was never the goal. So you'll keep chasing, keep buying, keep believing, until one day, if you're lucky, you'll get tired. Tired of wanting, tired of chasing, tired of feeling like you're failing at something everyone else seems to have figured out. And in that tiredness, if you're paying attention, you'll notice something. A quietness, a stillness, a moment where you're not chasing anything and you're okay anyway. That's peace. And it was there the whole time. You were just too busy shopping for happiness to notice. So here's the prescription. Stop buying, stop chasing, stop believing that happiness is the goal and you're broken if you haven't achieved it. Stop measuring your life by how often you feel good and start measuring it by how often you feel steady. Peace isn't the reward for a perfect life. It's what you have when you stop demanding life be perfect. It's not exciting. It's not Instagrammable. It's not something you can brag about at dinner parties. But it's sustainable, and sustainability is worth more than intensity. A steady life is worth more than a happy one, because steady lasts, happy doesn't. Happiness is a scam. You've been sold a product that was never meant to satisfy you, because if it satisfied you, you'd stop buying. Peace is what's left when you finally stop shopping. So answer me this. When was the last time you felt genuinely at peace? Not happy. At peace. Stead, comment your answer, or don't. Either way proves my point. Overthinking Department. Where we stop buying what they're selling. Open 24/7.